My phone is about to go dead. I don't believe it.
Alrighty. I am ready to start whenever you are. You can go ahead and connect now. We're live on YouTube.
Okay. That's my life story. It's why are you not coming up? I should have had this. Lawrence. What's the
Now, keep in mind, if for whatever reason you can't hook up, my lives are saved on YouTube, so
okay?
I can always send it to you as well too.
Okay, yeah. But I found it. What is it? I just went blank. Lawrence. What is it?
Elrod TV Network.
Elrod. No wonder it's not coming up. Elrod TV Network. There it is. And I can just share it.
Yep. Let's go ahead and share it.
The channel. And then are we on now?
Yes,
No,
we are.
we're live. All right.
All right. I'm going to do the countdown for editing purposes.
Okay. I need to turn the volume down.
Okay, just let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Thirsty Topics. Hi, Wander.
Hey, Lawrence, how are you, my friend?
I am doing fantastic. How about you?
I'm great. I can't complain. I just it's a rainy day and all that, but we're above ground, right?
Amen to that.
We are
I
above.
always
Yeah.
believe that any day above ground is a beautiful day.
Yes. 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 Yep. So, so how's everything? I know it's rainy, and I don't want us to have any issues with you know, freezing up. But I know what to do if that happens. But yeah. So what's on your mind today?
Well, it's I tell you, first it was very hard to come up with the 5 topics because I literally could have tripled this list. It was
Oh,
so
me
much stuff
too.
that happened this week. So so it was very hard to trim it down. But hopefully I got the right 5 topics where people are most interested in. Um,
Yes. Okay.
in fact, the first topic really is a troubling one.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly 50 people had died in ICE custody since Trump has taken office.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did some research on this because I was like, wow, that sounds kind of high, but it is true from various reports.
Okay.
Um, the thing that's really interesting to me is that some people died. I just didn't know that number was that high. Reports from government watchdog groups, civil liberties organizations, and news outlets all indicate that this is one of the highest mortality rates recorded in the system in over 2 decades.
Wow.
So some things to consider about this is that the volume and conditions to this is that an aggressive mass deportation campaign expanded the detainee population from roughly 30,000 to 70,000, leading to severe overcrowding and straining facility capacities. Of course, this is creating medical neglect as well as mental health crises within this organization. So,
Yeah.
what about you, Wanda? Are you surprised at this number?
I'm totally surprised at that number. And the thing about it is, I don't know what people are. What are they thinking when they are not watching the news first and foremost? Because I was talking to someone about this situation, And we don't want to overdo it, right? With uh blaming what's going on with the ICE. We see with our own eyes what's happening with these ICE agents and the different things that they've done. And then to know that there are people, first of all, my thing is far too many of them are not criminals. So why are they in this facility? And here it is. Are they dying from natural causes? Are they dying from starvation? We hear the stories. So this is really something for the community and for people to really be concerned about. It's an alarm. It's an alarm, and we really need to find out what's actually going on with with this situation with these people locked up in these facilities.
Yeah, the biggest surprise to me is that this number hasn't been really popularized, talked about more. It's kind of hit and miss. You hear it from some news outlets, you hear it from here,
Yeah.
but without actually looking it up, most people probably don't know this number is this high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. The black one. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. And for my people to for people the phone charger, please. Oh. The yes. So my phone going dead. I don't want to die on me. It's just really a sad situation. Repeat what you just asked me, so I want to make sure I'm asking the right question because he just threw me off.
Yeah, sure.
What were you asking me?
We were just talking about, why this isn't getting the press or the coverage that you would think it has gotten.
Well, again, it's one of those things, like I said, brother, that people need to wake up, get out of the video games, get out of the fact, oh, we're in 2026, la, 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 skip it around. Man, our democracy is being challenged. And what's happening in these facilities, man, it is inhumane. It is inhumane. And how do we get there? I know some people, what's going on in the world, everybody's affected by it. And we got to get that deer in the headlight thing out of the way. Because I think a lot of the people are pretty much stuck with that deer in the headlights.
Yeah, that's true. Some of the statistics here are pretty alarming. When you look at advocates and the
Give me Mark's phone.
ACLU have documented cases where delayed emergency responses, untreated chronic illnesses, and neglected infections such as sepsis resulting from toothaches prove fatal. Mental health is also a big issue. An investigation by the Associated Press found that at least 10 detainees have died by suicide, a spike attributed to isolation, delayed mental health,
Yeah.
treatment, and worsening conditions inside the facilities. And these are just a tip of the iceberg as far as what's going on. So to me, this has nothing to do with politics. This is just human decency, is what it
It's
is.
human. It's human decency. And here's the thing, Lawrence. We definitely need to get involved because to sit back and not even uh, first of all, you're not even knowing about this going on. But even for those to sit back with that deer in the headlight type of thing, it is going to affect us like cancer. What's happening in these facilities, it's only a promise of things to come if we don't get a grip. If we don't get a grip on what's going on, the things that we're reading about, some folks don't want to hear about it, but it is so true. Not just these facilities, but they're building new facilities.
Oh,
And you got these people in here with no medical attention. They won't even let, like the one topic we talked about, they won't even let the governor of Newark, even New Jersey, even come in to see what's going on. They're even keeping out officials, political officials. So, man, it's power with the people, man. It's power with the people, and it's very important for people to know what is going on in your neighborhood. What's going on around the world? Because what's happening to our neighbor, guess what? It's going to happen to us. if we're not careful, you
It's
know?
true. That is true. I would say that for most people, because some people may be watching this right now saying, well, what can I do? Well, like I said before, I think the easiest and most reliable thing you could do is get a hold of your elected officials.
Absolutely.
When you
Absolutely.
start calling them, um, maybe even stop by their office if you live near there and just inquire about this and speak on this. And if you're very, very unhappy about this, let them know because
Yeah.
they do listen. Sometimes you may have to force them to listen, but they do
Yeah.
listen.
Absolutely, my brother. And the thing about it, we I go back to the African American thing. We as African American, we've been through. The Indians have gone through this thing. The Jewish people have gone through this thing. So now collectively, we've got to come together and see how we can come up with a solution. Not panic,
Mm-hmm.
not to panic or anything like that, but there is an answer, and I know God has the answer. I know we don't talk about religion or try to get too deep into politics, but you got to hold on to something because these people, they are suffering over here, and again, without it necessarily being political, were some of these situations were these people already sick? Did they already have a preconditioned situation before they got locked up in these facilities? But we know as a whole, for what we know about these detention centers, they are not humane. They are not humane. And what
That is
and what are we expecting to come out of these things? But the thing about it is to awaken the people, to tell the people, wake up. We blowing the trumpet in Zion. Wake up. Look at what's going on around you. People gonna start disappearing. They're already disappearing. They start disappearing more and more and more in this atmosphere that we're in. You best believe they're gonna be in one of these containers in one of these cities that's housing 8 to 10,000 humans. That's inhumane.
true.
And we're sitting back talking about it. So what are we going to do now that we found love? What are we going to do with it? Now that we know what's happening, what are we going to do? And now it's time out to stop talking about it. We got to be about it, man. We have to be about it for
That's
sure.
true. Again, get a hold of your elected officials.
Do you know of anybody? And that's because right now, do you know of anybody that's in those facilities or a family that's been affected? Do you know any families that
I
have been
personally
affected?
don't know. Do you?
No, I don't know. I don't know of any families that's doing, but I know my grandson in his school.
Mm-hmm.
He's because he's in a it's a mixed school, but a lot of Hispanics are in his school, and he and I have talked, candidly about what was happening and coming from his thought pattern. A lot of those kids are scared, so my grandson actually knows of families. Yeah, matter of fact, matter of fact, I do. Matter of fact, I do. It was a lady that was working in a facility, and what she was trying to do is get her dad. And I don't want to mess anything up for anybody if they're trying to make them citizens. But I think going to the military, something about them being in the military. But because he doesn't speak English or whatever, she was very much concerned for it. So I actually
Mm.
do know of a family that was affected by that. Mhm.
Well, we'll definitely pray for them and hopefully they stay safe and kind of stay under the radar.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because I haven't heard from her probably since. This is yeah. So it's been a few months since I've heard from her.
Hmm.
Wow, but yeah, sad affair, my friend.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have more sad news. Again, AI is forefront. Roughly half of all Americans fear that AI will take their jobs.
Mm,
A recent Reuters slash Ipsos poll confirmed that 53% of Americans fear AI could put some in their household out of work. Concern spans across demographics, with 73% of the respondents expressing overall worry about how AI is being used. The fear is widespread, but several key factors and statistics provide a closer look at this public sentiment. Just pointing out a few things, the generation gaps. Workers age 18 to 24 are 129% more likely to worry about AI making their jobs obsolete compared to workers over 65. And as it comes to education, college graduates report higher regular AI usage, yet are also more likely to express high concern over job loss than those without degrees.
Wow.
That's an interesting statistic there.
Very interesting. And you know what? And the fear of artificial intelligence will take away jobs. It's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
It's really understandable because we talked before many years ago when they were talking about the downsizing. AI hadn't come into play, but downsizing was a thing that they talked about as well. But history shows that new technology often creates as many opportunities as it eliminates.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I think about when I was working at the University of Chicago Hospital, and a lot of the jobs they were phasing out. They were phasing the jobs out, but they also created more jobs. So we got to understand that. Think about it. When the automobile replaced horse and the horse and buggies and the carriages, right? Many jobs disappeared, but entirely new industries were born. So
Yes.
when we think about AI cannot operate without us, and it's a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
And some people and maybe we were talking about a project, right? And I know a lot of actors are worried about the things that they're the AI characters. You don't have to hire a real actor anymore in certain instances. I don't think in everything it's not gonna. I just don't think it's gonna affect everything. It's just like everything else progressing, but we just have to put some understanding to it because when you don't understand something, fear is false evidence appearing real. So when we see that fear comes into play, I'm not downplaying it because, like I said, some jobs it will, but it also creates, give you the opportunity to create other jobs, right?
Mm-hmm. That's true. And for me, looking at AI, because I use AI too, in what I do. What people don't understand is AI is a valuable tool,
Mm-hmm.
but it will never replace the human being.
Never.
A good example of this is there's a lot of people who do animation. Okay.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
something I've been looking into.
Yes. Yes.
Well, AI is great for the short form type social media type stuff. AI hasn't crossed the effect where it can do a hour show where you could just put in simple information and it just puts out a video. I would
Yeah.
love it if it was that easy, but it's not.
Right.
So again, it's a great tool, but it's a long way from people worrying about replacing a human being. I don't think it ever happened. In fact, I would be very impressed if I ever saw AI paint walls, change the oil in the car,
Yes.
put in new plumbing.
Yeah.
So again, are there
I think
some jobs going to be affected by it? I agree it is, but I think that if we learn how to embrace it and see how it will work for us, I think most people will accept it a lot more easily.
absolutely, brother. And I was laughing because I was remembering a week or two ago, it was on the news. This robot was delivering somebody's food, and then ran into one of and broke all the glass out. I'm like, now
Yes.
who's gonna eat this food? So some people may want the quick stuff because, like, I tell you, like right now, everybody's into the apps, right? I don't like to order my food from the app because, first of all, you don't know how long it's been sitting there. Some stuff is just still old school for me. And I know it's quicker, you understand the line, but I want my food hot. AI, the real concern is not whether AI exists, but whether workers are being given training. Because I think that's the other thing. Are they given the proper training through the school, through the nature? So that robot running into that doggone glass house with shelter
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Even with the Teslas, I talk to my boy David all the time because he drives a Tesla. He lives by the Tesla driving. I was driving today, picking my grandson up, right, and a Tesla was driving, and you could see it jump over. And I thought about him, and I was talking to him about it later on. The Tesla's not going to even let you come over in the lane. I think that would be a great first car for my grandson, driving in a Tesla. So it's all about the perspective, I think, when it comes down to AI. There are some people who use it for devious things, and we talked about whether it's for the good or for the bad. But
Hmm.
for someone like me as a writer, man, that thing enhances. It doesn't write for me, but it enhances and make my writing better. So
That's true.
to each his own with that. I don't downplay the concern with it. If anybody that's listening right now, that you want to tap in and tell us what do you think about AI? I
That's
know
true.
somebody's listening right now. What are your thoughts about AI? And perhaps you'll be able to read maybe a good comment coming in about AI because it's still I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing. Now, I do have to say, when my son learned how to drive, he just drove on a regular car that didn't have, it wasn't a Tesla. I like old school learning that old way because if you're driving one of those cars that have all those
Features.
technology on there and something happens, they're going to be frozen. They're not going to know how to figure it out. So,
Well, yeah, but you know what? I know some people, brother. They would not. They live on leasing a car. They won't pay because of all the amenities from leasing a car versus buying a car. Then it's your problem. So again, it goes to what is your desire? What is it that you prefer? And because I'm telling you, you can go in a stop sign at a stop sign and if you get your signal to turn and the car is coming maybe two cars behind and that car in front of you is gone, that next car thinks it's his obligation, he won't even stop. So sometimes, at least with the features on these new cars, it can prevent accidents. So man, so again, what is your thoughts, people listening about AI? Just get off the phone with a young lady, and she said, "This AI." I said, "Oh my God, you need to tune in at 7 o'clock and hear because this is one of our thirsty topics."
well,
Yes.
somebody told me to tell you, hey, Wanda.
Hey, hey, hey. You know
I
what I'm
don't know if
saying?
they want their their YouTube handle on live, so I'm not going to say who it is, but someone did speak out and say, hey.
Okay, hey, hey, hey. Good. I'm glad you're tuning in. But yeah, but the AI again is if you like strawberry cake or chocolate cake, vanilla ice cream, you like Wendy's, you like McDonald's. So that's why I think that it goes because from what I've used with AI and chat and all that, it has really really been enhancing for me.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And it also helps out people like me who, I have a streaming channel and I'm
Mhm.
at the point where I can't hire a full crew right now. So AI kind of helps fill in some of those gaps until I get to that point where I could bring on more staff. So
Yeah.
there is definitely a need that people can use it for.
And I
Definitely.
always want to say this: technology may change the tools we use, but it cannot replace the God given gifts of passion, wisdom, discernment, and human connection. These qualities remain uniquely to human beings. So let's not go so far out that we think that the world has gone to another atmosphere, and it has not. So let's not get too you know deep with it.
Yeah. In fact, we had someone just say, I think AI is not going to work. Too many issues.
It's not going to work.
Too many issues.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, it's new. Remember when the computer first came out?
True, true.
When they said the World Wide Web, that's the devil. That's 666. I remember in the late 80s hearing that the computer that we're using now, oh, I hear a tornado warning. Yeah. So computer, you
Hmm.
know, what was said about the computer, that it wasn't going to work. It's the devil. And now you have access to reach all over. I interviewed a man from Greece on my rock show, So, so it's about, is the glass empty or is the glass full? But the verdict is still out on that comment. The verdict is still out. Yes.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
I do understand what they're saying because
Yes, I
there are
do.
some. It's not perfect. There are issues. I,
Oh,
I agree
definitely.
with that.
Yeah, and get the kinks out. Yes, sir.
Now, one of the hot topics right now this week is, of course, the Knicks versus the Spurs. Okay,
Okay.
Knicks are one win away from a title win, something they haven't had in decades.
Okay.
But of course, there's something that kind of rains on it a little bit as far as the parade. And that is that Knicks fans assaulted Spurs fans and also threw eggs at Spurs players. So to give you some deep in context here, following the Spurs Game 3 victory at Madison Square Garden, viral videos showed crowds of Knicks supporters accosting individuals wearing Spurs jerseys in Manhattan. In one widely reported incident, a 39-year-old Spurs fan was surrounded, punched, kicked, and robbed of his jersey and phone near West 47th Street and 8th Avenue. Now, he was treated at a local hospital for bruises and cuts. The egg incident. After the series shifted back for game four, dejected fans took their anger out on the opposing team. As Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs arrived at their hotel in New York, a crowd gathered and threw eggs and other trash directly at the players. Security did quickly shield Wembanyama,
Mhm.
Wembanyama and the rest of the team inside, and no players were seriously injured. This is ridiculous. This is just ridiculous. And, let me just say this. The majority of the fans, they're out there having a good time. They enjoy this rivalry. They love that their team is in the finals. It's sad that it's a handful of people that make it hard for everyone else with this nonsense.
It just goes to show you the atmosphere we're in. You mean to tell me people invest emotionally in sports, but when fans attack someone because of the jersey they're wearing, the game has gone far. Sports are supposed to bring people together and not to
Mhm.
divide them. And when shame on the people that did that. It's just like with pretty much the atmosphere, like I said, that we're living in, that you have some people that have lost their minds when they think that if you're not with me, then you're against me. This is friendly competition. And let me tell you something. We're talking about the Knicks here, but there are some sports teams, high school. I've seen some high school parents get kicked out of a game pretty much a similar way. Was it unsportsmanlike conduct?
Unsportsmanlike conduct, yeah.
That is just not cool. It's just not cool.
It's crazy because, again, you're going out to enjoy yourself. You want to
Mm-hmm.
celebrate, have a great time. There's nothing fun about beating up on someone. There's
Yeah.
nothing fun about robbing them. That's just
No.
silly. And for example, when things are done, what happens is that now security is going to be beefed up. Now
Again,
areas where
yeah.
you have a watch party at, they may or may not have that watch party because they're worried about stuff happening, or they're going to push you to a different area. So pretty much because of a few knuckleheads, everyone has to pay the price for that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
It's ludicrous, brother. It's like, you know, as like I said, I was reading, and players are setting examples to some fans because, like you saw,
Hmm.
when the special guest came to the game,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
And it was boom, elbow, flagrant foul. It was just crazy. So even some of the players are setting examples for fans to act out.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I was surprised at when watching the game, because I did watch some of the game,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of stuff that wasn't called that would normally be called in a regular game.
Yes.
In fact, there was one, to me, really bold flagrant foul that was not called. Anyone watching the game knows what I'm talking about. It was shocking that it wasn't called as a flagrant or a foul of any kind. But you're right. You do set that example. And what players have to understand too is I learned this as an adult and as a father. Your kids watch you even when you think they're not watching.
Oh,
And
you
it's the
better
same thing
believe
with
it.
your fans. Your fans are paying attention to you even when you think they're not.
That's right. And you know what? This reflects a larger issue in society. And I said that earlier, whether it's politics, sports, social issues, a disagreement, it often turns to hostility. Why? Why is it so hostile? We can have some, and you just have to be careful how far to go in this atmosphere that we're
Mhm.
in now. You mean to tell me you cannot even go out there and enjoy yourself? You can't go to the beach. You can't go to a friendly game. This is something that's aside from politics, man. A place for people. And look, a lot of people spend thousands of dollars for those tickets, right?
Mhm.
To go to this event. So it's friendly competition. Come on. We just got to wake up, man, because it's not about all of that. What is really underneath all of this? Some people look for an excuse to go out and do
That's
something
true.
like that. And how as eggs are, how as eggs are, you throwing eggs at somebody? Come on.
That's
That's
true.
crazy.
That is so true. I
That
just
is
hope
so.
they find those knuckleheads and arrest them because you really don't want that moment to be spoiled by a handful of people.
And I was going to say this: when passion becomes a problem, at what point does supporting a team cause our beliefs to be unhealthy behavior? When?
Hmm.
Wow,
That's true.
it's just really sad. And again, for me, I don't know if I want to be in a bunch of crowds these days. You could be on the sidewalk and somebody drive their car through a crowd where the car don't even belong. So yeah, the atmosphere is just really, really ugly. And what happened in that incident with them attacking those fans, man, it is it's no nonsense. It's just nonsense.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, talk about nonsense. My next story here is very troubling.
Oh boy.
So, a 70-year-old Massachusetts man, his name is Stephen Dana, was arrested and charged with attempted murder after he allegedly attacked and tried to drown a 21-year-old man, Matthew Duffy, during a dispute over access to a residence only lake. The altercation, which was partially caught on video, occurred at Sandy Beach Lake, uh, Lake Mesponak in Hopkinton. So, to kind of break down what happened, Dana, who lives on the lake, confronted a group of young men riding jet skis. So he told them to leave, citing that the lake's boat ramp and waters are restricted to Hopkins uh, residents only. So during the heated exchange, Dana approached the 21-year-old victim. The victim was on crutches and recovering from a severe motorcycle accident that left him with a broken leg, pelvis, and arms.
Mm.
According to police reports and prosecutors, Dana slapped the young man across the face. The physical fight then moved into the water. Dana is accused of forcefully straddling the victim and holding his head underwater for about 10 seconds. The attack ended only when the victim's friends physically intervened and pulled Dana away. from the disabled man. Now, I actually watched this video several times, and the thing that shocked me the most is how angry the
Oh man. Here we go.